All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus, rocking it solo today. And, we've already talked about all the Vikings' primary targets at pick 14. We've done a breakdown of Rashawn Slater, Greg Rousseau, Kwity Paye. And now it's time to look at another guy who is, as we get closer to draft day, seems like almost you narrow down to the top four options. This guy's got to be in there. It's offensive tackle from Virginia Tech, Christian Darrisaw. Let's talk about him today. Give him a little breakdown of what he brings to the table. Christian Darrisaw, 6'5", 311 pounds, the big man from Virginia Tech. You watch tape on this guy, and he's pretty damn impressive. I mean, once he locks on to a defender, he does not let go. It's pretty much just game over. He plays with a violent streak. He is a mean son of a bitch. He'll put his man into the turf. If he's not putting him in the turf, he pushes him about 8 yards down the field until the whistle blows. And he said it in an interview. He says, "I'm the kind of guy who will kick your ass in a game, and I'll tell you that I'm kicking your ass as I'm doing it." And I love that. I love that kind of mentality to our linemen. I think the Vikings O-line could use a little bit of that. Breathe deeply into it. This guy's also very quick out of his stance. I mean, he moves well for being so big. He can get outside. He can get to the second level. Really, I mean, looking at a left tackle prospect, he's everything you want. And I think if the Vikings were to take him, he's your day one starter at left tackle. And here's my only hang up with taking Christian Darrisaw at 14. You're kind of giving up on your second round pick last year at Ezra Cleveland before you really see him in the position you drafted him for. When the Vikings took Ezra Cleveland, they said, he's our left tackle of the future. We're going to start him at guard. But if you take Darrisaw, he's got to be your left tackle. He doesn't really project inside. I mean, Cleveland stays at guard, so you're using a second round pick last year on a guy who's really not playing the position he was meant to play. And that really kind of lowers the value, lowers the Cleveland pick in my mind overall. But again, you got to do what's best for your team. If it is taking Darrisaw, he's the best option. Him at left tackle, Cleveland back at right guard. It's probably the best combo you can get at this point for your O-line, or one of the best ones, the way things are shaking out with free agency. But the other thing you got to worry about too is if you keep in Cleveland at right guard, I mean, he's got to be better. He was okay, and then he kind of maybe got a little below okay toward the end of the year. You hope he takes the next step, gives you some solid protection inside, which the Vikings have not had. So it's kind of a double-edged sword with Christian Darrisaw. Love him as a player. Absolutely give him the One Barn Lupagus seal of approval. I think it is everything else around taking that straight-up tackle. Look at Vera Tucker. He can play guard tackle. Rashawn Slater can play guard tackle. Darrisaw, to me, is just strictly a left tackle, which means you're kind of just, saying Cleveland's a guard. And I don't know. Just to me, I would like to see Cleveland get a shot at left tackle before we bring in somebody new. You're basically using two very, very high choices in the draft at this position. I know left tackle is one of the most important positions in the NFL. But in a season too, where it's critical that Mike Zimmer wins, getting rid of Riley Reef, and if you go with a rookie, I mean, it'd be a huge drop off there. There is a learning curve, no matter how good Darrisaw is. It's a gamble, and you saw the Vikings gamble last year on the cornerback position. This year they're kind of gambling with the O-line. And if this doesn't pan out, they do take Darrisaw. This could bite Mike Zimmer in the ass, cost him his job, and maybe Spielman goes down with him. It's just a whole new regime change if things do go sour. So we'll see. That being said, do love Christian Darrisaw as a prospect. If he was the choice at 14, depending on who else was there, most likely I would be very, very fine with it. So Christian Darrisaw, again, One Bar and Lupagus, approved. All right, that's what we got. That is, pretty much the last draft profile of a guy we consider at pick 14. If we do more of these, it'll be guys who are going to be down the road a little bit. Round 3 options, because we don't really have a round 2 pick at this point. That ain't going to happen until draft day if we swing a deal. All right, guys, until then, always remember to keep your skull in your hole.